Yo, what up, what up? Good morning, GMG. Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? No, it's Tuesday. November 18th, 2025. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in house. Tyler, good morning. How you doing today?
You know, it might feel like Wednesday because this week has been so long already. Just staring at these charts and watching them go lower with no bid.
No bid.
Alas, we are emotionally decoupled from the pain, and we are trying to find the bright side in all this.
We are emotionally decoupled. Is true. Okay, so there's no stream, and Twitter is not one. So that's what I'm reading. Like we're not able to stream video to Degenz today.
Yeah, it looks like no X video. The Spaces seems like it's going. Some people are in there, and then we've got the Kick link.
Fuck. Okay, so let me share the Kick. That sucks. Is it working even? That okay. So let me. You know what? I gotta tell Tunes real quick from Monad that. Okay, so Cloudflare. My bad, everyone. We have a guest today, and I have to tell him that there's not going to be a fucking stream link. Being down made it so we can't stream to X directly. We are live on this link on Kick. If you guys want to share later, but I will as well. Yeah. This is so stupid. So Tyler, can you explain to me how come like this one Cloudflare thing breaks the entirety of the internet all the time? Like, how does it work? I'm not like tech savvy like that. Like, what is it? Who's responsible for Cloudflare? Like, how does it work?
It seems Matthew Prince, the co-founder and CEO.
Is this guy like a billionaire or something?
He must be. He owns a significant portion of Cloudflare.
And how come it's always down? Because it's been down a lot lately.
It has. Right. And my spidey sense is tingling. I woke up this morning. It didn't feel great, I'll be honest. When Twitter was down, other things were down. Like, is this cyber
newsletter out?
Is this a cyber attack? Jeeves, my quant, is concerned about solar flares. So there's a lot of
flares.
And remember, we had those northern lights last week.
Oh,
they're much more pervasive than they usually are.
So what does the tinfoil hat theory say here, Tyler? Like we're getting Northern Lights, North America. We're getting, so what? You know?
I might save my deeper dive on my tinfoil hat theory for underexposed for those who tune in, but high level, is it in the United States' interest to effectively fake a cyber attack to convince a growing portion of politicians in the U.S. who are anti-AI? They want to slow down. They want more control. Does it make more sense to have some kind of an AI cyber attack? And now the mission becomes we have to win the AI global arms race, and we can't slow down. So that's my tinfoil hat theory. But it doesn't look like we don't have any evidence that today is.
Also, this like alien thing, right? Something i3 or Atlas 3i.
I'm out on that.
You're out on that?
Yeah. I'm not in that.
What?
You can only be in so many tinfoil hat theories.
Wait, you're not in on that one?
No, I think it's just a comment.
It's not though. It literally sent us a signal, like a message. The message, you know what the message was? It was wow. Is it me or my camera keeps going down? I feel like it's the third time I bring it up.
It's moving a bit.
Is it?
Maybe it's you moving.
Something's like, I don't know. I can't get it right now. Like since I got back, I just can't get my angles right. Like I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. So anyways. Okay, Tyler. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
No, it is going lower.
I'm not noticing it. So I think this might be more on your end.
I think I'm mentally like I'm losing it, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in my head.
Or maybe AI.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Look. Wait. Watch my camera angle. Watch my head. Watch the top of my head. Top of my head. Watch, I'm not moving. Watch. Yeah, it just Went all the way down. Watch how high the top of my head is now.
Yeah, it's going up a little bit.
You see that? Okay. So my camera keeps going down. That's why. But yeah, I have a tripod here, and I guess something's not sticky anymore, and the tripod just sinks. You know? Okay.
It might be the aliens. It might
Dude,
be.
fucking aliens. Man, these fucking aliens, man, they're fucking everywhere. The Atlas 3i. See, I mentioned Atlas 3i, and all of a sudden, Tyler, all of a sudden, you know, we're getting all these like weird things going on over here. Let me even make sure.
Get that? Go through all the different.
Yeah.
Good. Yep.
Very weird.
That's on the table. Could be the Northern Lights. Yep. That's
Northern Lights. It's so annoying. I hate this because you know it's not good when your head is like cut in the camera. It looks like I have to stand all the way back here now. Okay, cool. I'll fix it later. You know what I'll do? I have some like glue. Like I have to make it sticky again. You know. Man, I don't know. Anyways, besides the aliens, what are we talking about today, Mr. T? We're talking about the market, the weakness of this market. I think we hit 88K last night, right? I nearly got liquidated on the competition. I'm alive though. I'm alive. So we're going to talk about the market. I don't know if Mendel's going to come. We'll see. Last night I think he was up late.
He had a long. We'll talk about that as well.
We'll talk about that as well. I believe that Mando texted me at 1:59 a.m. that he was really pissed off. So I think he was busy. I think he was adding money to the LP or something. He was like fixing it. Anyway, so there's that. So we'll talk about that. I think the REKT guys here had a little sweat. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Tyler's top 100, and then we'll be
Made it.
Spidey senses, dude. This guy always does the same thing. We talk about him and he shows up. You're like, you know, like that. What is it that in the mirror, if you say her name 3 times, like she shows up? Like when we were a kid, you believe that? Like it's like a witch or something.
Bloody Mary, I think.
Yeah, Bloody Mary. What's up, Mando?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Looks like you had a long night. Fucking hell. We were just saying, like, there's a chance you don't show up because you texted me like 2 a.m. I was like, guys, just so you know, Mando may not show up today. But he's here.
I slept at 3 last night. And then I woke up to the same thing happening at 7:30.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. So there's that. So we'll talk about that in a second. And then last but not least, we'll be joined by Keone, the co-founder of MYRIAD. So we'll talk about MYRIAD today on the show. There's a lot of stuff to cover on that front between their Coinbase sale, the ICO, their apps. Look, we got some questions ready for Keone on the show today. YEET giveaway, of course, like every day. Listen, market may be down, but the stimmies on this show are not. And we give money every single day. That's for sure. And last but not least, this show is powered by EigenCloud. EigenCloud, built on EigenLayers security, extends crypto-grade verifiability to any application, from AI agents to prediction markets to on-chain games. Build anything, verify everything. Wallet Connect powers billions in monthly volume across wallets, apps, users, and institutions. That blue logo, it's everywhere. An icon of trust in crypto, is recognizable as Visa at checkout. Want to learn more? Follow Wallet Connect on X and Telegram to stay ahead of what's next. All right, Mando, let's dive into what's going on. Oops.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
GM, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm buying Bitcoin. That's all you need to know.
Hey,
You're back again.
he's
I bought
back.
some Bitcoin. I bought a decent clip of Bitcoin in the last 30 minutes.
Absolute cinema. That's what the pump was. This guy literally, man, how much Bitcoin's Mando buying? He brought it from 89K to 92K.
It's literally
about-
right now.
What about 7 million Bitcoin?
Oh,
Damn. His size is not size. My size. Sorry. My size. Wait, am I buying Bitcoin too? I'm on timeout right now. I bought a fuck ton of ZEC Mando for the tournament.
Yeah.
I punted it, and at $700 ZEC, if it goes back, I may win the competition.
Yeah, Zach's more difficult. I don't know. It's broken down some longer term trends, but I'm just betting right now that Bitcoin goes to like 95, 97K. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think, if you've been noticing, actually, Bitcoin dominance is going down for one of the first times during a sell-off. I like Bitcoin. I don't know if I like altcoins. I like Bitcoin. I think your downside is like,
Oh wow, it is quite down.
I would cut it if it went down to like 88, but yeah, it's more of a bounce trade for now.
Yeah. I mean, we hit what, 89,000 last night.
Yeah. So if we hit a new low, I cut it, basically. That's why I've got my stop loss.
Okay. There you go.
Overall, look, the market's not looking so great
No.
in stocks. We've had a bit of a sell-off there. And obviously, NVIDIA results of this week. There's just a bit of a macro sell-off going on right now. And the fact that Bitcoin's selling off, I know Tyler's put out a tweet just before that, this is making TradFi news that this is happening. It kind of is now. People are definitely cognizant that Bitcoin is selling off. I continue to be very cautious on the market here, but as in, like, I don't think we're going back to a bull market just yet. That would only be confirmed for me, like, if we bounced above 100, maybe like 102 or something like that. But I think I have rarely seen as much panic on the timeline as I did over the last 24 hours. So I just felt like it's a good buy spot. We're in very deep oversold on certain metrics, and Bitcoin dominance has been going down. So I kind of feel like it's one of these ones that even if the next leg of this would not be Bitcoin selling off, it would be other things going off. So
yeah, Bitcoin kind of sold off on its own last night, overnight, right? Like, because ETH went to 2,900, but woke up, it was 3,000 plus, 3,100. Solana bounced from like 128 something to 130s, and Bitcoin was lower than yesterday.
Yeah, so we have a Solana ETF, I think, coming out tomorrow. I think it's the Fidelity one, and then ETH. And then ETH, I don't know. ETH just bounced, basically, although I continue to be very cautious on ETH here. ETH would be, if I was to pick a short in the market, it would be ETH because of the DAT trade. That being said, if Bitcoin goes up to 95, 98K, like I think everything bounces, but like I think a Bitcoin ETH trade, pair trade here is not a bad one if you don't want to take directional risk. Every single major alt that was running, the perp dex has actually been very strong. So Hyperliquids and Aster have been the two strongest. The age of the perp dex continues to be a pretty powerful narrative. And I think people are just getting bullish on these as venues for trading in general a little bit as well. There's unlocks obviously coming for Hyperliquid in the near term, but these have certainly been the strongest alts.
Very.
Zcash obviously went from 740 to 570. I'm long back.
We longed a 30 RSI. We did what
30 RSI today, yeah. At 550, it hit 30 RSI. And then come on, I need this, boys. This is the trade, Mando. Here, look at that. This is it. We longed 550. Oh wow, we're up 73K right now on the comp. 65%. Nice.
Where are we at? Look at that. Come on. It did an update. All right, let's go.
Yeah, like I don't know if I trust altcoins here as much as I trust Bitcoin, but I do think it's probably due a bounce, at least to just it went straight line down, right?
It did.
What else do I like here? What else really got? So Aster's strong. BNB, no, not interested. Athena, not interested. ETH, I actually think sell all ETH rallies for a while now. Hyperliquid, interestingly, is kind of dumped as the rest of the market's sold off. Obviously, Hyperliquid, the one of the reasons why perp-dex is rally on really red days is because of the fees. So you get really big buybacks, so that may have been part of it. that's actually dipped below 39, interestingly, just now. So maybe that's an interesting buy. Pumped, not interested. REKT, we can get into that in a bit, but yeah, rallying at least right now. Solana, not interested. I think Solana's going a lot lower.
Good bounce on Sol to save the lower low.
Yeah.
But like, thank God. Like I woke up this morning. Yesterday I was looking at it. I was like, this thing's going sub 100. But good attempt here to save that lower.
Just think about the mentality right now. If Bitcoin goes to 95K though, I think there'll be like a real fucking, oh my God, chase into this market. So I would be wary of like, you know, just like be cognizant of that basically. But I think I'll be looking at shorts as that happens as well. So like I've done this big long on Bitcoin, and I'm looking at shorts primarily on some of the L1s with a DAT trade, which would be ETH and Solana, if I'm honest, if we bounce.
Okay. Listen, I'm up to 4th right now, boys. I'm like fighting here.
Let's cook.
I'm fighting here, boys. G Money just lost his first place, but him and Bodhi are going for it. I'm fighting for 3rd here, actually.
All right.
Let's go.
You got to have a huge trade here, don't you?
It's ZEC. So I went 25x long on 122K size. And I would need a bounce to like $700 to like make it first, second-ish.
It's non-zero.
It's non-zero.
Why not?
But we caught the Bernie hit us up in the chat. It's like, boys, 30 RSI, you know what to do. You know, we did it.
I love how you guys all shat on me for that at the start, and now it's just like the only thing that we believe in. Like, I don't believe in Bitcoin ETH, but 30 RSI on the 1 hour candle on ZEC. Like, oh, okay,
that is really funny,
quick
man.
on the macro front, like that was great analysis. I do think it is kind of a big deal that Bitcoin's making these like top headlines when it's down. And I do think it captures people's attention. So like Dave Portnoy, a very controversial character, but like last night he bought 2 million in crypto. He's talking about it on the show this morning. My point here is that there are people who are at an arm's distance to crypto on a day-to-day basis, but they see these headlines and they see its extreme fear. And that tells them like, okay, maybe now is the time to buy. I think there's a lot of concern out there on like who are the buyers who are stepping in, and I think they are out there, I guess, is my optimistic.
Maybe I'll share my screen with what actually convinced me to just borrow a pair. So this is the RSI. I'll collapse this because we'll get everyone confused. This is the 1 hour RSI on the Renko candles, which I like a lot. It is currently at, where is it at? 20. It has never been at that level.
It's at 20?
It hasn't been that level since 2022, July, which was, that was one of the most vicious sell-offs around that sort of period. That was around the time of Luna. So that gives you a sense of like, we have not hit this level. We've hit this level once. In fact, it was even lower today. Like it was sub 20 for sure when I was looking at it. So that tells you how oversold the market looks right now. If we go back to that, maybe we'll go back to when it actually did hit that level. That was we went down to 17K. Oh no, that was actually, oh no, sorry. That was we went down to 19K. We then bounced to 26K, 25K next. So like that was a 30% move, 40% move there, back up when it did that last. So you get a good sense of like, we can go lower, and that's why I had my stop loss, but we don't hit levels like this in terms of fear many times. So I just think it's oversold and we could have a bounce.
All right. I'm gonna go mega long Bitcoin now on the competition.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. I'm back, boys. I'm back. I'm fighting for it. G Money's now. He was super short and didn't close, so he's on his way down. Does Third make any money? What's 5 Infinix patrons worth?
Yeah, they're like sub 1 ETH. ETH at like $500 at this stage. So
It might be lower than that at this point. But don't you need? I feel like just piling into the Zcash trade is gonna like that's your boom or bust. Like,
yeah, I think Bitcoin is like the safe way to play what I just said.
Yeah,
but I do think Bitcoin can go up to like at least 95, 97K just on a bounce here, just by how much it's sold off, right?
Yeah,
not a bad punt. Not a bad punt. Anyway, so there's that. And before we get to topics, because actually Q&A is gonna come soon. I just realized the time it is. Fuck. Man, do you want to talk about last night? Do you want... what happened last night? What did you guys do to fix it? Because I know you guys were quick on that.
Well, not necessarily. About a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that we had some of our supply was being held by something called Morpho, and this is a DeFi protocol. And there's been CBB had been kind of like flooding Morpho. I don't know if you've like seen. There's been like some like FUD around it. It's like doesn't have good risk parameters and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then that was the first time I was aware of this. I actually looked back. It was the 31st of October. And then, although it may have been there for longer, I don't know. Last night, seemingly this platform works where you can actually borrow cash against meme coins. I think it was originally via IMF, which was that thing that I think, is it related to Mog in some way? Like, that was a platform that allowed people to do it, but like I think somehow we weren't even on IMF anymore, so someone had like bypassed it and borrowed directly from Morpho in the same way. And I went to bed, got woken up for hearing that we had just dropped 30%, and then it became quickly apparent it was related to this Morpho. They had 5% of the supply nearly.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they had 16 trillion REKT or something like that, or 15 trillion REKT nearly, like an insane amount. And we have LPs, obviously, but when you have that much, and it just started smashing through the LPs, because we just weren't aware that that's what the liquidation level was. And I woke up, I put a lot of bid side. This is when it could have gone to zero, right? Like we had like 300K bid side liquidity, and there was millions to sell. So I just started putting in bid side liquidity into it, and then it did stabilize and then start to rally. But it seemingly like someone started buying it back and putting it back into Morpho. But it wasn't the original people that were liquidated by this. It was like a different person. So it looked almost like someone was trying to attack us. But I don't think that's the case. I think the original one was a liquidation. Then somebody probably who knows Morpho decided, look, I want to go like mega long this liquidation.
Maybe they were short on an exchange or something?
There's no perps for REKT. We've never had perps. So then I went to bed. It did rally, went all the way back to unchanged on the day. And then by the time I woke up, it had gone back into some of the LPs that I had set up. But they were much lower, right? The LPs, because that's where I started adding the liquidity. So then he got liquidated again. It got defended again at the level where our LPs were essentially. And then I basically added another, a lot of liquidity this morning to make sure this doesn't happen again. And Morpho no one's been buying again and putting into Morpho, so I don't know, but it's now down what's that, 25% since yesterday. And I've had a lot of calls with OSF this morning on it. And basically our plan is just to speak to everyone involved now. Like I've put a lot of bits of liquidity in this thing. We're going to go around to all the major holders, go around to particularly new funds as well, because we spoke to a lot of them when REKT had that gargantuan run. We were like, I'm super interested, but like I've missed the trade. And I don't know, whoever had it on these platforms, like I have no idea what their incentives really were for it, but I think they were even looping it, so they maybe even buying more REKT. So I don't think it was like malicious. There was someone who was just super bullish on REKT. But it does mean that we're gonna like almost use this as a galvanizing spot, I think, to like really drive this. OSF loves these sort of fucking moments. Like he's a weird dude. Like you get him on the phone in these sort of moments, he's like, yeah, like this is so great. Like that whole thing was like a ticking time bomb. Now it's gone. Like we didn't know about it, but it's like it's so good that like all the leverage is out, and now we can like get people in it. And I'm like, bro, like it's down 50%. What are you talking about?
It's
but
not great.
He really has his moments around now. So and given how we've set it up now, I think we're going to be strong. Yeah, I think OSF is now going to use this as a moment to get new people into the trade.
He loves pain.
Yeah,
that's one thing about Ovi, y'all. He loves pain in a very key way.
He's going to do a call, I think, later today, just to kind of go through everything that happened, to get everyone on like the same page. And he's currently writing up like a one-pager, as well as going around to all the major holders. So like he's having a proper day. He's going to spend the next like 5 days doing that. So
I like that. That's the good thing about REKT, right? I think I saw some people share this on the timeline. At least, you know, if it was any other team, not any, but a lot of teams, you think like that's it. They called it, you know, someone's left with their millions. But in that sense, in this case, you know, it's not the case. And you know, something was wrong when you saw what went down and that they were going to fix it. So it looks like Ovi's going to be, he wrote it, by the way, what you're saying, he wrote it. He says he's going to be spending the day today, putting a concise one-pager, and he's going to circulate publicly and through our channels to whales funds and et cetera to get the pitch out. So that's about it. And best of luck to that, but that's definitely not fun. I texted him, I said, you good? He's like, yeah, man, just, you know, shit happens.
No. This is like, these are his days. He texted me, like, I know it's so bad, but like, isn't it so good that like, we've got everyone, like, I can like, I really feel alive in these sort of moments. I'm just like, bro, just shut the fuck up. Like, I'm having to put bid-side liquidity into this thing in the millions of dollars, and you're sitting around there going, well, isn't this just great?
That's actually a very good representation of you two. You're the one that's like, fuck, like you're texting me like, God damn it. Like I have a text from you saying like, fuck this, like this was so stressful. And I have a text from Ovi saying, yo, this was amazing.
Up in like stocks last night. He bought like Boomer stocks 6 months ago, which takes him like 5 days to get back. And apparently we have a lot of money coming in from our market makers as well, from like token loans from like a year ago. All of this just came at like the worst possible time. So that's why, it required me to come in. But
anyways, well, thank you for fixing that. Yeah, it'll be fine. We just need the market overall is not fine. So there was a lot of leverage in the system. It's not just REKT, by the way. Like CryptoPunks are about to go through like a mega liquidation cascade soon. It's like 125 punks, right? Tyler, I think there's 120. Someone has 125 punk on loans on Gandhi.
Like 150 punks.
Yeah. That the morpho of NFTs right now. So
is that one of the funds? Man, I was so close to buying a punk. Remember? So close to buying a punk, and you'll at the top.
You'll get one for really cheap soon, Mando. But anyways, I see Keone in the stew over here. Tyler, we'll go to your topics tomorrow, I guess. Let's see what you got. I know there's a lot to cover, but Keone. Oh wait, where's Hold on. Where's Keone? Wait, Keone, what's up, man? Good morning. G Monad, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Gmonad. How are you?
We're good. You know, what's that mean? I'm fine. I'm totally fine. in a sea, in a house on fire.
Oh yeah, the dog with the ears.
Exactly. You know, but we're fine. Listen, we're good here. We're still hosting every day. We're doing what we got to do, and you know, nothing stops us. So it is what it is, and there's a lot of good things happening as well. So so just a little, you know, dent on the road here. Nothing else. Anyways, for those of you who are not aware, if you're on Twitter Spaces right now, just know we are live with Keone on Kick at the moment. We were trying to set this live on X, but shout out to Cloudflare for not allowing us to do that. It was down, so we're only on Kick right now. Tyler, I'm gonna kick it off to you here. We got a lot to talk about regarding Monad. It's definitely the season.
Yeah, Keone, I would love just maybe for our listeners who haven't been following Monad through the whole journey, I'd love to hear the pitch and kind of like what the building story, kind of where it came from and what it is.
Yeah, great to be here. Prior to Monad, I was a quant in high frequency trading for about 10 years. It was a really fun experience working with a really small team of people, building a new system from scratch and just making it more performant every day, researching new improvements. It really taught us a lot about how computers work at a very low level. We were very incentivized to understand all of the details. And it was really fun working with a small team. So I spent most of my 10 years at Jump Trading, led one of the trading teams there, was really involved in the futures market in particular, in the non-crypto futures, trading crude oil futures, treasury futures, S&P 500 futures, things like that. And then I joined the crypto team at Jump in 2021 and saw the rise of Solana, saw the growth of explosive growth of Solana NFTs. I remember the Degenz Ape Academy mint and so some of the things that kind of followed from that. So it was a really interesting time, but at the same time, it was a time when Ethereum was really constrained. It was people were experiencing really high gas fees. The chain itself was not scaling, and upon looking at it further, it was very clear that there were some significant architectural changes that were needed to Ethereum. So I left Jump along with one of my coworkers, James Hunsaker, who I started working with in 2014, which sounds insanely long ago now at this point. But we'd been working together for 7 years. We knew each other really well. He's the best engineer I've ever worked with because he just has really, really deep insight and instincts about where bottlenecks are and what the right architecture is. And you really need that in order to build the best system possible. So we left Jump, and along with the third co-founder, Eunice Giarda, started Monad Labs in 2022, and have basically been building over the past 3.5 years, which again sounds like an insane period of time. Yeah, I think actually now like it's almost like cool. Like for a while, we'd been building for such a long time relative to maybe some other crypto projects where people were just like, why are you so slow? And I think now people understand more like the level of depth that was needed in order to build everything from scratch. But yeah, anyway, Monad's a really performant EVM layer one that's highly decentralized and that's introducing a ton of new optimizations and new software architectures in order to really help scale crypto to the next level of adoption.
How has that building process been over 3.5 years? Because like it is rare in this space, right? Like a lot of teams opt for the quicker payouts, quicker TGEs, and I'm curious, through a lot of a long bear market as well, it was a good chunk of that 3.5 years. So I'm curious, kind of behind the scenes, how was that process?
Yeah, well, we got started in early 22 and then went through the Terra crash and the FTX crash, raised our seed round somewhere around that time. And I remember the Monad community started December 2022, so literally right after FTX crash. I think FTX crash was like November 8th, 2022. We opened the Discord on November 1st, 2022.
Yeah, I
So
remember that.
yeah, it's just like insane. But the industry has definitely grown in a lot of ways since then. We're very lucky to have really strong supporters and investors over the years who have believed in the vision and believed in what was needed and what was possible, and believed in our vision to help address these really severe problems. So there hasn't been a um, like we've had the luxury of not needing to take shortcuts and really building things in a way that is sustainable and that doesn't take shortcuts from a decentralization or performance perspective.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, I appreciate you've been building. You were born from the ashes, effectively, in 2022. Here we are in 2025. Let's fast forward to now. So, doing the public sale, the ICO on Coinbase token sale. Or what went into that decision? Why did you choose that platform versus alternatives?
Yeah, so I guess fast forwarding, 3.5 years from the founding of Monad Labs and the start of the project to now, the project has grown a lot. Like we have a really performant client. It's fully open source. There's a lot of new architectures that have been pioneered. People kind of know Monad for parallel execution, but there's actually a number of other improvements that all stack on top of each other, similar to like stacking coupons to get a huge discount. Like we're stacking like 2x, 5x, 10x improvements in order to deliver a really high performance system that is still really decentralized. It's really cheap to run a node. There's a large number of nodes participating in consensus. And it's really intended to be something that can stand the test of time, and something that can expand the capabilities of what blockchain networks can do right now and allow decentralized systems to reach a higher level of adoption. I guess like that's part of it is the technology, but the other part is really growing a community, getting really strong distribution of the token. That's also really important to the North Star of decentralization. And as we were thinking about the mainnet launch and all of the work ahead of us from that point onward, we really wanted to have a very distributed token. And it seemed that a token sale was the best way to accomplish that. With that said, of course, there's a lot of different platforms and approaches, and I'm happy to expound more on like how we decided to go with Coinbase as opposed to other platforms. But I think at the end of the day, the first order thing is literally just we want the public to have access to the token. We want it to be very broadly distributed. We want it to be as democratic as possible. Yeah, I think those are really important aspects. And it's also really important that crypto expands so that it's not all people that are on crypto Twitter, but also, there's just like a much bigger set of people that are crypto enthusiasts that maybe trade crypto a lot, but are just only on centralized exchanges relative to the number of on-chain users. And so trying to attract more of those people and get them to be excited about something new, trying something new, trying out the chain, trying out the apps on the chain. That was really sort of the P0 priority from our perspective.
And I mean, congrats. And being the pilot launch on Coinbase is a big deal, right? And it's going to draw a lot of attention. So I imagine a lot went into that. And you mentioned excitement. I feel like folks should be excited about this bottom fill. So maybe talk about that. Like, why did you run this ICO so that it can be filled from the bottom, so to speak? And what does that even mean?
Yeah, the Coinbase token sales platform utilizes a fill from the bottom algorithm. And what that means is it's the most democratic algorithm in the sense that it doesn't take into account a pro rata allocation at all. So there's no reward for being a larger bidder, assuming that the sale is sold out, the allocation is really very broadly distributed. And so in particular, the way that it works is, I guess maybe the way that I would explain it is like we take all of the bids. So maybe there's one bid that, like Tyler, maybe you bid $500, Farouk, you bid $1,000, and I bid $2,000. So the way that the algorithm works is it sort of goes down the line for each of us, and it allocates each of us $1 of allocation, and then subtracts the total. From the total allocation, it subtracts $3. Then it goes down the line again, and it allocates each of us $1 again, and it just kind of keeps looping and doing that. And maybe we get to the point where Tyler's $500 bid is fully filled, then he just gets removed from the system, fully filled for $500, and then we just keep striping down again, only among Farouk and me. And so it's really just, everyone is equally given the same fill initially. And then the smallest bidders are taken out of the system when they're fully filled. And then we just keep iterating to keep allocating. And the reason I think that Coinbase, or rather, I think that the algorithm was coined by CoinList initially. But the reason they call it fill from the bottom is you could imagine a bunch of glasses of water that have different heights, and we're going down the line of glasses, pouring the same amount of water into each one. And when a glass gets filled, of course, we can't fill it anymore. So we just keep distributing among that still have space.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very democratic to use your word objectively. Hard to argue with that. And like the little guys out there, like, they have to love this, right? Like everyone has a shot to get however much allo that they want. And of course, it's going to, depending on how competitive the bid is, and a few other factors. I am curious. And when you were thinking about doing the public sale, with one of the main priorities being distribution, and I think that makes a ton of sense. Like, how does that go in line with the airdrop? Did you guys ever think like maybe we should just scrap the airdrop completely because of all the headaches that along with it and the complaints? Because you're getting distribution via the public sale.
Mm-hmm.
How do those two kind of fit in hand as a part of a TGE?
Yeah, I think that there are, like, if I'm giving you my most honest take, I would say that there's probably 3 different cohorts of people that we would like to, that I think the ideal project would like to include in their initial distribution ahead of the TGE and mainnet launch. And so those would be core community members that contributed a lot to the growth of the community. That's like group 1. Group 2 would be people that are extremely enthusiastic about crypto and spend like an hour or more a day on crypto Twitter scrolling and posting, and just like I always say, like, eat, sleep, and breathe crypto. So just people where crypto is like one of their hobbies, I guess you could say. And then the third category would be people that are like crypto traders or crypto holders who only use centralized exchanges, or are kind of crypto curious, but they haven't like made the leap to being on chain and being in the culture. So those are the 3 cohorts. And so I think the ideal thing would be like 3 optimized different strategies for each one of them. I think the airdrop is pretty appropriate for the first cohort, because assuming that the project has a community, like assuming that the project has people that have actually meaningfully contributed to the project's growth and presence and social layer by their actions, then you would definitely want to allocate them tokens. And I don't think it makes sense to ask them to buy them, because different people might not have that much money, but they might have contributed a lot. And so I just think like either it's like an airdrop or a sale with a price that's so low that it's basically de minimis. That would be how to allocate to that first category. And then the second category, I think, could either be addressed through a public sale with some, like we've seen these merit-based platforms where they try to like measure people's value based on their Twitter presence and GitHub contributions and things like that. That's what Legion does. Certain Echo sales do it that way. So I think that makes sense for that second cohort.
or you could do an airdrop for them and just design that really carefully based on a lot of data. And then the third cohort is really like should be addressed through a public sale. And in our formulation, we had some constraints, but we couldn't do two separate public sales with two different, it's just too much. And there are constraints, but we targeted the first cohort through the airdrop, the second cohort also through the airdrop, but with different like rules for how those people were identified and allocated to. We had the Monad Cards initiative. We had like a lot of other data and things like that. And then the third cohort is addressed by the public sale. And so I think that just depending on the project, they might try to like sweep in all three categories through only an airdrop or only a public sale. But I think what we did was really designed to try to catch all of those in different ways.
Well, clearly you put a lot of thought into it. And it's just interesting. We're all kind of exploring, those of us who weren't around for the 2017 ICO era, like we're now in this new ICO era. We've had 3 big ICOs, Pump, Mega ETH, and now Monad, doing their own kind of spin and variety. So it's been very interesting to follow and see the different features and the thought that goes into it. So appreciate that. Now, we've got maybe a little bit less than 10 minutes. I'd love to talk about builders and apps on Monad. So how are you thinking about that? How are you thinking about bringing teams, apps to Monad?
And is there some cool stuff launching that you want to like highlight too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that being a builder in this space is extremely challenging. It's tough because crypto is still very small. It's tough because there's so many ups and downs and emotional swings, and that's coming from the market as well as the just like the sentiment that ebbs and flows. So I think, and then I think just in general, like being a founder is a very challenging task. Like I've been incredibly blessed to have really strong investor support and an amazing team. I have a lot of advantages, but I'm just very conscious of the fact that for builders at the early stage, like they're facing a lot of challenges. So the single biggest goal and single biggest challenge for the Monad Foundation is supporting early stage builders through their journey, giving them really candid feedback that helps them grow, and sort of balancing helping, but also not helping too much and assuming that we know the answers, because we really don't. It's really the entrepreneurs that know their product the best. All we can do is try to provide help where we can. I think a good example is if you've read the Peter Thiel book, 0 to 1, he talks about how investors actually shouldn't try to like coddle founders too much or like help them too much, because actually the best founders don't really need that help. And so I think that there's this balance here where we want to provide a lot of support. We want to provide a great support platform that can support all builders equally. And we do that through certain things that we do at the Monad Foundation, like Delta V, which is a platform for, it's like a social network for founders, I guess you could say. So it's like log in, can post updates, get access to resources, get access to programming, get connected investors, and so on. And that's a scalable way to provide support. But more generally, this is the biggest challenge for, and this is our biggest task, but this is why we're here, is to help the crypto ecosystem grow through great applications built by great teams.
And the other side of this, so there's builder acquisition and there's user acquisition. So I'm reading a bit about your Monad Momentum program. Would love to hear a bit about that, from you directly as well.
Yeah, I think that UA is the thing that, or user acquisition, aka UA, is the thing that every builder should be focused on. In crypto, the existence of speculative behavior by users and the existence of token incentives really can skew the folks' ability to measure PMF at the early stage. And at the early stage, there's like a bunch of users that come in that maybe use the protocol, but are just using it to farm the protocol. So all this farming behavior becomes very distracting to identifying whether the product is actually achieving PMF. Our effort with Monad Momentum and more generally is to help support builders in their UA efforts while defending against things that will distort the actual data and distort our ability, but really the founder's ability to measure whether they're doing the right thing and building the right thing. So all of that is to say that Monad Momentum is a different kind of grants program than maybe what we've seen in the past with other foundations, other ecosystems, because it is really focused on user acquisition. And it's sort of posing to teams the question, what is your cost to acquire one user? How many, what are the different channels through which you can acquire users, and which is the best one that gives you the lowest cost to acquire such a user? What is the lifetime value of one user? What is your monthly retention rate for those users? And we want you to model that out, and we'll give you some funds to test that. And you can find out if you're right or not, and you probably won't be exactly right, but you will iterate, and these resources are here to help you iterate so that you can turn the screws and get better and better at UA over time.
Well, it's a really interesting framework and way to quantify it as well. So we'll be curious to keep following that. I think, Keon, this has been great. I think the last big question on my list is, what should users expect from mainnet launch? The main waiting room is effectively open.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a countdown on Twitter and everything.
There is, yeah. First of all, I'm really grateful to my whole team. Awesome, yeah. It's just a really talented group of people that all have different skills. And so what you see here is just a fun, like one of the many outputs of the Monad Foundation growth team, which is one of the best in the space. I think that mainnet is exciting because there's a huge number of people, not only within the Monad team and the Category Labs team, but also just more generally who are working toward making this a really performant and successful mainnet launch and a successful mainnet going forward. So we have 139 validators on mainnet as of a couple of minutes ago, with more getting onboarded sort of hour by hour. We expect to have about 200 on mainnet on day one. And so that's literally 200 teams that are all coordinating and managing upgrades and figuring out this tech stack, that have been doing this over the past many months to help grow the network. It's many teams that are building high performance indexers or historical state access service, or there's just a ton of work that a lot of people have done to help deliver this really performing EVM environment, and not to mention the builders themselves. Earlier, you were asking about some of the apps that I'm excited about. There's honestly too many to name, but I'll shout out a couple really quickly. I'm excited about Lumitera. I'm excited about lever.bet, which is doing levered sports betting. I'm excited about bro.fun, which is a really casual, you'll just have to try it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like beer pong on chain,
Oh, yeah.
kind of.
Beer pong on chain. Let's go.
I don't know if you saw it. I'm really excited about Fluffle. I'm excited about Drake Exchange, which is building perps on chain. I'm excited about Capricorn, which is building a DEX that does order flow segmentation to give retail users the tightest quotes while adjusting quotes outward for more toxic flow, which I think is smart. I'm excited about Mu Digital, which is bringing Asian RWAs on chain, bringing higher yields on chain. I'm excited about Town Square, which is doing modular cross-chain money markets. I'm excited about the NFT space on Monad. We've got Chog NFT, which is building this insane lore around the Chog character, who was birthed out of AI and the brain of one really interesting community member. about a year and a half ago. You've probably seen it on Twitter. You might have seen the
We may
people
have.
dressing up and showing off their enthusiasm for Chog.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Keelan, this is great. Thanks for running through that list as well. So I know a lot of folks are going to be on the lookout, for what to do. Like, where do they get their hands dirty on day one? I've been getting that question a lot, so I appreciate walking through it.
Yeah. And I just want to say that I think that, MYRIAD is really long-term effort. I'm excited about day one and all the effort that everyone has put into making day one really fun and just bringing fun back into the space, similar to what we tried to do with MYRIAD boxes, MYRIAD cards, and so on. But it's a long-term game. Like if you think about the story of Ethereum or Solana or any other project, what happened on day one was not important relative to the broader arc of, the persistence of all the builders in the ecosystem and the long-term focus that the teams have had. So that's really what it's all about. I think we're super excited about day one, but even more excited to just like get to mainnet and allow teams to demonstrate PMF and just like grow and grow and grow like a weed.
I love that. Well, congrats on everything. Really excited to see it. I know it's been a long time in the making. So really, really hyped to see, this go live and participate in the ecosystem. There's always a cook, right? So, in this market, I think the trenches need something good. And you got to pay attention to these new narratives, new metas, new blockchains, new products that come out. I think that's the best thing to do, especially in these downtrends. So Keone, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
See you, brother.
Bye.
All right. 1 week. Wow.
Less than 6 days.
Less than me. Fuck. Dude, I remember 3 years ago when this was all getting started. It's
I'm excited. I feel like I know a lot now. I feel like I have more insight into what Monad is. Monad. I keep mispronouncing it.
crazy than 3 years. Fuck. Chog. Looks like Chog may be the shitcoin we're buying. I don't know. It's like isn't that the name of their mascot?
And I think I was talking about this in some circles, and maybe we talked about on the show yesterday. If you look at the tokenomics, right, 38% for the ecosystem. I think we heard it directly from Keone, right? Like they have a long-term vision.
Yeah.
So like the tokens and these teams are going to come out over time. So like I think there's going to be like an initial jump. I don't know that I would call it like a big boom.
Are we betting this or what?
So to speak. I think it's going to be a longer cook, I guess, is my interpretation of our conversation.
Yeah. I mean, they've been building this thing forever. So
you should have a long-term time horizon, I guess, is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is. It does definitely appear that it is a long-term one. All right. Let's give away some money.
Let's do it.
Let's give away some money, Charlie. Let's bring up the board and then let's pick a winner. All right, let's spin that wheel. Not weighted today. There you go. So anybody can win. Antonius. New winner. Antonius, congratulations. Come on stage. Antonius, is that his username on here too? Antonius Gambles. That's a nice username. Antonius Gamble, if you're here. Oh, there he is. There he is. I love the initial reactions. This guy's losing it in the comments.
What do you want to play, my friend?
All right, we got time. Let's play it. Actually, do I have time? 1 second. Let me see. Okay. I have like
a few minutes. That's not
fine. Okay, fine. Let's go. Let's make it quick, Antonius. And where's Antonius?
Good to have to win after losing like 7 days in a row.
Well, there you go. So what do you want to do, Antonius? Should we do... It's got to be a YEET original.
Maybe we just do Lamb Chop again. No, Lamb Chop, he picked it. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, pick. Do me a favor, Antonius. Pick quick what you want. I have 2 minutes and I got to run.
But tracks, like how do you want to run this? All right, we'll probably just default to easy mode. Okay, easy mode tracks. All right, let's do it.
All right, easy mode tracks. So congratulations, you already made $500. So that's already a dub. Easy mode tracks. All right, we full screen it and easy. The Yesterday was a fun run. That was a bummer because that was really good.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got the buddy.
Got the body. Boom, 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 and tracks.
Hey, Antonius.
Antonius.
Now, that's where the gambles comes into play.
You can either cash out $650 and go again, or keep going and still go again because you got 2 rounds total. There he is. He's focusing. Take your time. We cooking. You are cooking. I like getting the Shannon ball. Like it's so much fun.
Probably a bit of a delay. Let's bear with it.
They have about 10. One more, he says.
To my own heart. That's what I always do. Hey, he got it. All right.
I love this game.
What are you doing, Tony?
And I love that I always get to play it for other people without money. It's like it's Mando's money.
I think in this market we stick to our system. I'm hitting the cash button. This is your call.
Everybody's saying cash. Can you let the guy play?
I feel good, run, but I cash out. Yeah, I think that's
Oh no. Fuck.
tough.
That was not a great cash out. That was going to 1,000 plus, but guess what? He's up. He made 770 on the last one, right? Right? Because he went to he went here. 770. He's at 1270 already. So congratulations. And you get another run. You get another run.
All right. So
Fill it up.
I mean, do you want tracks? Oh, medium. Oh, what a guy. He is a
Medium, okay. One at a time or how many? Tracks, 4, 3, 2. What do you want? Medium track. No, that's Degenz. Whoops, hold on. Okay, it said medium. Go for 554. So this is the fourth one. Okay. 1. Oh, brutal.
You don't have to worry about it. Well,
Brutal.
okay, 1275. Pretty good.
What? Listen, then that was a good cash out then in the grand scheme of things. Congratulations. Still made $1,275, Mr. Antonius. So with that, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. We have Wizard of Soul coming on tomorrow. I'm excited for that show. We have Wizard of Soul. We're going to talk markets tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.